1079 CDY. This is Cadillac Unscripted, and it is sponsored by Independent Bank. A half hour's worth of local chat here in and around the Cadillac area. The only radio station around here that's doing this kind of stuff. And we're always happy to provide that service here. And Katy, Huckle, and I, week to week, talk about good things that are going on in the community. We like
to keep it positive.
We want to keep it positive. And there's nothing more positive than the Rotary Club and the work that they do in the Cadillac area. And they're in the spotlight this time.
They sure are. Rotary is such a critical piece of our community, a bunch of leaders over there. And today we've got Susan Dennis and Casey Boyer with us. They are helping run the 2021 Rotary auction, which is going to be virtual. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the auction. When is it and how are you doing it? Because you can't get all these people together. So can you tell us what it looks like?
Sure. Our auction is going to be March 6th through the 13th, and it will end on the 13th at noon. Right now we have items on there, and people can go ahead and go onto the website and check out the items that we have. So if there's something on there that catches your eye and you know you're going to want to bid on it, then you can put a little heart to save it as one of your favorites.
Awesome.
So they can just go to 32auctions.com/Cadillac Rotary 2021, and that will get them into the auction site.
Excellent. So much work, so many items donated, so many generous people. What are you going to do with the proceeds?
So our project this year is Veterans Serving Veterans, and I'm going to let Casey talk on that behalf.
Yeah, so Veterans Serving Veterans here in Cadillac, they do a great job at providing an area for veterans to get together, do different things in the community. It's really a great resource to them to provide a area to give back to the community and meet together and collaborate. So there's many different aspects that they have for their park. Anything from a cemetery to a 5K trail to a pavilion that is main subject for our donation this year.
Awesome. That's fabulous, huh, Rich? We love our veterans.
We do, and I can't really think of any community that I've lived in my life, in my 50 years on Earth, that supports veterans more than Cadillac does.
100%. 100%.
We have an awesome community for that. That's totally true.
Yes, and we've had some folks from the Veterans Park on the show, so we're familiar with how all-encompassing that is. I mean, these veterans are going to have a fun playground. And a place to belong, and a place to commune. Let's talk about your most unique items that have been donated, and then let's talk about items that you'd like to see be donated.
Okay, we have everything from kayaks to hatchets and knives. This year our goal is to have items for men to get on there and bid for. So we're looking for fishing trips, hunting trips,
golf.
Bowen area, golf. Yeah, we've got some golf packages, so they can go on there for that now. And, just anything that the men would be looking to bid on.
Rich, what are the men looking for?
Everything that they just said.
Okay. How about gift certificates to restaurants and things like that?
We have those,
okay.
And if there's anybody out there that's looking to help us out, they can definitely go on our website and pull up the procurement form or give one of us a call, and we will stop by.
Okay. If the world was a perfect place, how much money would you two raise? Would the club raise?
We are looking to raise $50,000 this year if it's a perfect place.
Wow.
Is that less than the usual goal because of not being able to be face to face, or is that on par with what you've
It's
looked
on
at?
par.
It's right
Okay.
on par. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not dumbing it down. You're going for it.
Yeah.
Going all in on it.
Going all in.
You know what? I think you picked the right community. I can see us hitting the 50,000. Can't you, Rich?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about high ticket things, because it's a lot easier. I mean, I know you'll take anything, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a lot easier to make a lot of money on high ticket items. So let's go back to the world's perfect. What big items would you like to see? Trips.
Anybody that wants to donate a trip, over weekends and cabins or hotels with meals to go with that would be really awesome. We seem to get a lot of response for those.
Okay.
And one of the great things that we really are trying to focus on is one-off packages. So if somebody has something that they would like to do or donate to provide to a group, those always do really well. it's great bonding. And then also with that, with your donation, you get to spend one-on-one time with a group of people usually, or provide them an experience that they're never going to forget. So that's a great option.
You mean like someone giving cooking lessons, or someone having folks over for a dinner party, or
Yes.
a wine tasting?
Yes, those always do great, and those create the most memories, something that nobody ever really forgets.
They're talked about year after year for sure.
Oh, wow. How cool is that? Maybe my cakes need to come up in this.
You know, it's very interesting because that's the first thing I thought of was a Katy cake.
Oh, so you're going to give my cakes away on my behalf? No,
I'm going to steal one for me and my family.
Okay, I will commit to some of my cakes. I'll get with you guys and Doreen on that. That's a commitment, because he was going to guilt me into it anyway. See,
Well,
that was
we
one of-
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Let's talk about past projects, and then let's talk about specifically what the money will go to out at the Veterans Park.
Okay, so past projects. Last year, we did the flags. Not last year. I'm sorry, we didn't have an auction last year
Okay.
because of COVID.
Right.
So
It's
the
okay.
year
It's
before,
perfectly fine because we would all like to forget the last 11 months.
We will.
Perfectly
we're
fine.
gonna just forget
Freudian.
about
Just
that.
erase it.
Yeah, it's done.
So we did the flag project out on the causeway.
Beautiful.
And that we get so many wonderful comments on that, and it's such a welcoming sight from visitors coming to our area that we stand for America and our veterans, and we're proud to be able to do something like that.
You know what? You're right. It's continuity of the projects, isn't it? Going from flags to veterans.
It
Because
is.
what do we think of when we look at flags?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's a great thing. And this year it is for the pavilion project at the Veterans Park. So
Okay.
it just ties right in there. It's a really great opportunity to provide them that resource too. And they're doing great things out there for members that you don't even got to be a veteran, honestly, to go out there and enjoy their park and some of the things that they provide. So
it's interesting because when you think about places where veterans gather typically, it would be at your AMVETS, at your VFW. And so now taking it to an entirely different level with exercise and, like you said, a cemetery, a place to lay these folks to rest where they're together locally. It's giving me the chills, Rich.
Yeah,
Big time.
It's an amazing facility they've got out there.
It
And
sure is.
It's nice because, a lot of times we think of organizations that support veterans or that we go to. Myself as a veteran, I notice it's usually around drinking or hanging out. This provides another resource that kind of removes ourselves from that and gives us a way to grow just without outside influences and just more as, if we were to call it a spiritual kind of connection,
yes.
or our relationships, instead of, well, let's go grab a beer and do it that way. So it's a great opportunity to kind of connect that way.
It's outside, it's quiet, it's nature.
Yeah,
Healthy.
One you taught us that, right? That's one thing.
Everybody likes to be outside now. So, Casey, is it true veterans like to be around other veterans, don't they? That's what they prefer.
It is. It's, that bond that you have together with your fellow veterans or just people that have been involved in some kind of armed services. It's just something that you can connect on. You share a common interest. And it makes my hair stick up a little bit right now,
Yeah,
honestly.
get the
'cause
chills.
That bond just is just everlasting. Just knowing what somebody's gone through and what they have done to give up a part of their life, or their spouses too, and their family. That's something that very few people get to experience, and it just brings everybody tighter in that field.
Well said. I remember Alicia Elmore telling me one time that once you've served in the armed forces, you're part of something so much bigger than yourself.
Absolutely. What better way to give back to a country that's been so great to us, and especially a community? There's a National Guard here right in town, so
Awesome.
they're ever present.
Right? They're protecting us. Let's talk a minute about $2 million over the years Rotary has raised. That is a lot of money. So who's chairing the auction? Who's the quarterback on this?
I am this year.
Oh, lucky you. How are you sleeping? Didn't you just say 59 items got donated today?
We entered that yesterday, so those will be coming up. So right now on our auction site, after this weekend, we will have 129 items on there, and more are being dropped off today. Casey just dropped off some things that he procured. So
Okay.
and then Monday we will be at Habitat for Humanity from 10 to 4, entering more items. So if anybody wants to donate something, we'll be there from 10 to 4.
Okay.
on Monday, and then you can drop off items there Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 4.
10 to 4. And there's someone there to accept
Yep.
them and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's interesting because we talk about what's going to be out at the park. I think folks like to donate to something where everybody's literally working on it and not hiring it all done. And in your notes here, you said that volunteers are doing the labor out at the park and that you have one volunteer that's planted over 1,000 trees.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. There was a bunch of us, Susan included, that went out there and helped out to donate some time for Rotary. And the people that come there and help out is just unreal. It's all volunteer. I mean, they were picking up
Amazing
rocks,
people.
stones. I mean, they're moving tractors around, just doing all kinds of amazing things.
I got to drive the tractor.
Oh,
too.
yes.
Yep.
I want to see Susan on a tractor.
You know, it was pretty fun. It was a shocking experience, but
We did. We were picking up sticks, putting them in the back of a wagon, and that's where they're going to do their cemetery. So they had it all cleared.
Yep.
And we were just picking up branches and stones and putting them in the back of a wagon. And
You know, that's the thing about Rotary, Rich. You could be a dishwasher or you could be the CEO of a manufacturing plant in town. And you walk into a Rotary meeting, everybody's on the same plane. I really, really like that about the organization.
Yes.
It's a total team concept, isn't it?
it is. We are a
Absolutely.
great team, definitely. And we come from all aspects of life.
So cash donations are welcomed.
Yes, we do have sponsorships available this year. And they're going to be doing a circle cement on the bottom of the pavilion on the floor. And for a $5,000 donation, you'll be able to get your logo stamped in that cement.
Forever.
And forever. It's going to be there forever for your support of the veterans. And there are 4 different tiers. So if anybody's interested in doing a sponsorship, we can get them information on that.
How much money are we talking about, Susan?
We have $5,000,
Woo.
$2,500, $1,000, and $500.
Oh, awesome. Okay, let's try to get some donations that way too. You mentioned that you've got some collector's pieces that have been donated. Can you tell us about that? It must be coins. That's a Doreen question, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do have some personal items that have been created by people. Like we have a fish that was donated.
Oh, like a fish decoy.
Yeah, fish decoy.
Okay.
And just things that people have created. I think that's probably what she's going after is things that people do themselves. They make. We have a lot of Afghans that have been made by veterans. So
Nice.
Yes.
Everybody needs an Afghan, Rich.
Especially now.
and quilts. Yeah. Those ladies have been busy sewing and knitting. So
Okay.
I'm hearing a lot of one-of-a-kind items, things that are very, very specific, that are totally one-of-a-kind. Yeah.
we do have a football picture, and I should have brought more information on it, but it's years of football, and the value of it is $4,000.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
Yeah.
So like NFL people were nuts for football. This
yeah,
is
we
right in their
have
lane.
sports stuff.
Oh yeah. Everybody likes sports memorabilia, Rich.
They do. They do. We're about, Katie, about 14 minutes in, so this might be a good time to take a break
Okay.
and come back. And I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask. So-
More about the Rotary
boy.
auction in just a few.
All right. It's Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Independent Bank on 107.9 CDY. Part 2 of Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY, another Saturday morning and 30 minutes of local chat. We're talking about the Cadillac Rotary Club this morning and the upcoming auction, which is all online. We have Susan Dennis and Casey Boyer with us from the Rotary Club. And one of the questions that I would like to ask is, I know that there are many, many examples here in the community of past fundraising efforts by the Rotary Club. Which one do you think is the one that most people think of?
I think our pavilion probably stands out the most because people use that on a regular basis. People walk by it, they drive by it, and it also stands out with the emblem, the Rotary logo on it. So, and then just all the updates to keep that up and beautiful.
just a few years ago. You know, it was improved so much with all the new concrete there and new places for people to sit
Seating,
and better sight lines and better sound. And that's the answer I thought I was going to hear from you.
Well, in these outdoor spaces have become even more critical, as we've learned. I mean, it's the only place people can get together.
Yeah.
And I mean, even church is held at the Lake Pavilion, Rich.
Yep, it is.
Awesome.
It is nice with that in the community, if you drive by the lakeside or downtown area, any given Saturday, and there's usually some event going on by an organization or group. So.
And you know, these projects don't just happen. There's not a bottomless pit of money that every city has. And so it takes a bunch of doers to make this kind of thing happen. Casey, you mentioned the soccer fields. I mean, think about how many kids have played soccer on those soccer fields, you know?
Yeah, it is really great. I mean, if you take a step back and think about it, you know, it's not Rotary that does this. It's the whole community that supports us, from every business that we talk to or donates to individual donors. You know, it's not just Rotary, it's the whole community, and you really see the impact in the community with the soccer fields or the pavilion or parts that are going to go on the White Pine Trail. It's always these great things that the community actually builds to improve our community around us. So it takes everybody to be a part of it, and it's really nice to see that come through.
Well, you guys you've done such a good job for so long that there's instant credibility there. If the Rotary Club is asking, they've determined there's a need. And that was another question, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and as you mentioned that, Casey, I'm thinking about, you know, when the Rotary Club sits down, gets together, and decides what organization is going to benefit from that year's fundraising. I'm thinking that probably the biggest factor is how long will it last? Can it last generations? What are your benchmarks that you look at when you're raising funds for whatever you're going to be raising in a particular year? Is there a factor where somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, consider us"? What's the factor that you're looking for?
So we do have an application, and that's great, Rich, because every year we are looking for a project. So we have an application that you can fill out that has all the criteria that you would have to meet. And basically, we're just looking at something that will serve the public and something that when people come to visit our area, it's something that stands out and we're proud of it. So just ask us for the form and we'll get it to you. And we're going to be looking for applications for our next project for next year. So
2022, at this point, the Rotary Club is wide open to ideas.
That's correct.
Okay.
And the nice thing about it is every applicant gets to come in front of our group and present their project that they're wanting help on or that they see a need for. So it's really nice. We get to look at it as a whole group and make it so it's not one person or any one factor that's playing in. We want to better serve the community and be something that makes the world or the community a better place as well.
You know, you mentioned in your notes that there's a veterans food bank and feeding 35 veterans twice a month. I mean, what's more important than taking care of people that protected us?
Exactly. Just showing that love back to them. And, you know, that's why we took pride in this project this year is it's veterans serving veterans. And this pavilion that they're going to look at building is it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have a kitchen. It's going to have restrooms. It's going to have walls, screens that will come down and cement floors. And it's going to be open to the public. So they're opening that up. So if somebody's looking for a place to have a family reunion or
Wedding.
a class reunion, a wedding, I mean, this is going to be open to the public. They want people to come out and see their area.
Awesome. So tell us about Rotary itself. What does a typical Rotary meeting look like? When do you meet? How long do you meet for? And what do you guys talk about?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. We meet every Tuesday. That's usually starts at noon and ends right around about 1 o'clock. So it's an hour meeting. That includes anything from the lunch that we eat, some information about the community. We also have guest speakers come in and talk about the fundraisers or functions that they're doing in the community. Anything from the other day, we actually did a Zoom call, so we're still meeting. And they talked about nature and conservation of our watershed areas, all the way to different projects that the city wants to do. So a lot of people come to us and inform us and give us what's kind of going on in the community, so we get to make a better informed decision on how we want to help out. And then when there's a 5th week in the month, we actually get together and go outside and do a little community event. So that's why we were at the Veterans Park picking up and helping out with their
So it's a hands-on thing.
Oh yeah, hands-on. So yeah, I remember one of the first ones we did, we helped out Oasis too here in town. So
wow.
Went and cleaned.
Yeah, went and cleaned. So
Ew.
Yeah, no, that's everybody's favorite.
Oh no.
But yeah, so it's more than just meeting and as it was described to me one time, a bunch of old white guys hanging out. So
Wait, there's women
I know.
there.
So there is, and that's a great thing. Is we had a woman president a few years ago, Tracy, and then Susan. To her credit, this isn't her first rodeo with the auction. So she's chaired it before, and it's great because the diversity in our group is about as widespread as you could think, and it's just awesome to see that come together.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I think that happens at these meetings is you learn about things that you wouldn't typically, you know what I mean? Like, we all kind of have our own interests. And I can remember when I was a Rotarian sitting there going, I needed to know about that. I wouldn't have sought that out. It wouldn't have really been something on my radar. But I made me a better professional and a better person to be educated.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you're in your bubble that
Yes.
we are all in during our during our respective work days, it's good to see, get outside of your bubble. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even though it's not safe to be outside of your bubble right now. But.
That's right. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Well, is there a website folks can go to? Let's talk about that. Let's say somebody isn't going to physically drop something off, but they'd like to make a cash donation. What does that look like, Susan?
So then they can just go to the 32auctions.com /Cadillac Rotary 2021.
Okay.
And there will be an area on there where you can make a donation.
I mean, it's right around the corner. If you had to put a price tag on all of your items right now, okay, where do you think you're at money-wise?
Money-wise right now, I think that we're probably at $30,000.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So you might hit it.
We're going to try.
There's no might. It's going to happen.
All right, listen to them. I wouldn't bet against him, Rich. No. So, Susan, you've done this before and you agreed to do it again?
I did.
What kind of insanity?
It's a lot of fun. We have an awesome time together. I mean, it's just the team that we have that makes it so exciting to do. And I'm proud to be a Rotarian and everything that we have done for the community. Mm-hmm. So it's the group that we get together, and it's like now when we're photographing all these items to put them online, putting in the descriptions of them, and having a glass of wine doing it.
Oh, boy.
I mean, we just get together, have a good time, and...
Doesn't even feel like work.
No, we're just having fun. And
Good.
It's such...
The descriptions get a little less accurate with each glass of wine.
Oh, yeah.
No, they get even bigger and
Yeah.
better.
Oh,
Better and better.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But it is. We have a great team of people that work together on this, and we're always looking for new people to join us. So if anybody is interested in becoming a Rotarian, we are meeting Zoom right now,
Okay.
and we meet every Tuesday at noon to 1, like Casey said. Once we can start meeting in person again, we meet at Evergreen every Tuesday at noon to 1.
Oh, okay. Very good. And lunch is provided.
And lunch is provided.
Okay. If you could, I mean, we want to hit the $50,000, and we need more items to be donated. And of course, cash is king. We'd like to have cash donated. You mentioned men's items. What other men's items do we need to throw out there? Because there might be a store owner, or there might be someone who's got antique guns and stuff like that. I mean, let's think about what we could mention that would help you raise the money.
So if we have any businesses out there that have like deer hunts, pheasant hunts, any boats that take fishermen out to fish, items like that are going to be really huge and well bid on.
Okay, so an experience.
Yes. And there you go, an experience. They're looking for that experience, and bringing back that trophy.
And that's right. And we need shoppers too. I mean, so people that have an anniversary coming up, birthdays coming up, this is a great way to donate and get an item and maybe a unique gift. You mentioned the fish decoy. So I would encourage people to think about upcoming celebrations that they need a wedding, let's say, that they're going to need a gift for. Maybe this is where they go shopping.
Good idea. Love that.
You can shop for my birthday gift on this website. Okay? Oh, you didn't know?
Your birthday was before.
Wait, but there's another one coming, see.
Oh,
We both turned 50 this year.
We both turned 50.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
very, very close to each other.
Well, yes, yep. So we grieved
So you
together.
both can shop for each
You-
other.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh.
You grieved.
On our
I
site.
celebrated.
Okay, well, I did bake you a cake. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I know it. Okay, well, they're doing important work, Rich. I just want to encourage everybody to step up, get to the website, www.32auctions.com/Cadillac Rotary 2021. We also want folks out there to be thinking about community projects. Like Susan said, they're going to raise money every single year, and the community needs to bring projects to the Rotary Club to consider, right?
That's
Absolutely.
correct. Yep.
When do you usually decide? Is it how far in advance of the auction is the decision made?
Usually we like to make that decision in like October, November.
Okay, so you've got about 5-6 months lead time. Okay.
Okay.
And we also have Cadillac Rotary Club website and our Facebook page that people can get information off.
Okay. Excellent. What about things like snow removal, lawn care, gardening? I mean, those types of service items.
Those would be awesome items, definitely.
Okay. All
we
right.
have people who are great bakers like Katy, and she donates her cake every year to us. We have people who will do the chef. They'll call in a chef, so then, you tell them the menu you want, and they'll cook for a certain amount of people. Those go over huge.
I'd like a personal chef cooking for me.
So would I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm telling you right now, they're going to raise the money.
Okay.
I'd even put money on that.
Okay.
They're at 30,000. The thing starts the 6th and runs through the 13th. We've never done that before. It's always been we got to raise all the money in one night. So I think you're going to have real momentum with this.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The goal is eventually to go back to an in-person event, isn't it?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year.
Yes.
Okay.
At one point, this was black tie. I mean, I don't want to even know how many evening gowns I bought and wore to the Rotary auction. It
Set
used,
down, plate dinner.
oh, all of that. And just the world became more casual, didn't it? And Rotary did a good job of evolving with that, but while still staying focused on what is it that we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be making the community a better place. And no service club does it better than Rotary.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate your time, Casey and Susan. We appreciate you very much.
We appreciate your time today, and we appreciate the hours
the
and
effort.
hours that you're putting into this, too.
Yeah.
Well, we could not do that without the gracious people in our community that support the projects that we have. We just want to shout out, thank you very much for all your support.
All right. Step
give us-
up, everybody, and donate to this.
Before we go, give us that website address one more time because it's kind of long.
It is.
And we'll put a link to it on the Cadillac
Ooh,
Unscripted
there you
Facebook
go.
page.
There you go.
All right. The website is 32auctions.com/Cadillac Rotary 2021.
Okay.
Susan and Casey. Thank you
Susan
very
and
much. Go ahead.
Susan, Casey, and Doreen are point people on this. Doreen Lance, Susan Dennis, and Casey Boyer. So if you've got questions, track these folks down. They're pretty high profile. They're easy to find, and maybe someone's got an idea of a donation, or maybe somebody's going to really step up out there.
Maybe we have inspired someone to think of something they hadn't thought of before.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Our best wishes to you for much success with this. 50 grand, Rich.
50 grand. Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY is sponsored by Independent Bank. Join us next week, same time, same station, for another half hour worth of local chat. Cadillac Unscripted, 107.9 CDY.